The Prophet, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, begins to call people to Islam openly. The Quraysh react with resistance, and the early Muslims face hardships with patience and faith. Assalamu alaikum, dear children. Welcome back to our exciting journey through the life of our beloved Prophet Muhammad. In the last episode, we learned about the early, quiet days of calling people to Islam. But in today's episode, things are about to change. The message of Islam will now be shared openly, and not everyone will be happy about it. Let's dive into the story. After 3 years of secretly inviting close friends and family to Islam, Allah commanded the Prophet, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, to call people openly. He climbed Mount Safa, a small hill near the Kaaba, and called out to the people of Mecca. He said, "O people of Mecca, if I told you there was an army behind this hill coming to attack, would you believe me?" They all replied, "Yes, you are Al-Amin, the trustworthy, we've never known you to lie." Then the Prophet, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "I warn you of a severe punishment from Allah. Worship only him and follow his guidance." But instead of listening, many people were shocked. His own uncle, Abu Lahab, became angry and shouted, "May you perish! Is this why you gathered us?" And from that day, Abu Lahab became one of the fiercest enemies of Islam. Even though the Prophet only spoke the truth, many people didn't want to give up their idols or traditions. The leaders of Quraysh began mocking him, calling him a liar, a magician, and even a madman. They wanted to stop him. But he never gave up. Day after day, the Prophet, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, would stand near the Kaaba, call people to worship one God, speak kindly, and teach them the Quran. Some would laugh at him. Others would listen. Slowly, the number of Muslims grew. Some of the first people to accept Islam were young and poor, like Bilal ibn Rabah, a slave who believed in one God. His master tortured him in the hot sun, placing heavy stones on his chest. But Bilal only said, "Ahad, Ahad," meaning, one, one. Then there was Ammar, Sumaya, and Yasser, a family who believed in Islam. They were punished very badly. Sumaya, may Allah be pleased with her, became the first martyr in Islam. But they all remained strong in their faith. The Quraysh then tried to bribe the Prophet. They offered him money, power, and even kingship, if only he would stop calling to Islam. But he replied, "By Allah, even if they put the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, I will never stop calling people to Allah." Dear children, this part of the story teaches us something very special. The Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, faced insults, threats, and pain, but he never gave up. His heart was full of love for people, and he wanted to save them from darkness. The early Muslims also teach us what it means to be brave and patient. Even when things were hard, they remembered Allah and stayed firm. The open call to Islam had begun. The truth was being shared. But the challenges were only just beginning. In the next episode, we'll see how the Quraysh tried to stop the Prophet in more terrible ways, but how Allah always protected his messenger. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep following this beautiful story of our beloved Prophet. May peace and blessings be upon him always.